Please be seated. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to invite Mr. Chris Tobin, representative of the Darug people, to offer traditional welcome to country. Mr. Darug.
Thank you. Orami Nalawa. Hello and welcome to the lands of the Walla Medical. I belong to one of the local Aboriginal families of the Darug people, the traditional custodians over this part of the country. I wish to thank the University for their acknowledgement of us and for the invitation to welcome you all here today. That acknowledgement is important to our people, particularly to our elders. Education is highly valued in our culture as well. Knowledge meant survival, and our elders are traditionally accorded great respect for their accumulated wisdom and experience. My family descend from Yarramundi, a respected elder and cleverman of the Burrabarongal clan during the early years of colonisation. He saw that our future in this new world could best be secured if we could learn more about it. As such, he enrolled his daughter, Maria, or Bulgari as her traditional name was, into the Native Institution, a school set up by Governor Macquarie in 1815, offering formal education to Aboriginal children. Maria studied there for several years and used her newly acquired skills to lobby and ultimately secure some land for herself and her family out along the Richmond Road. Other Aboriginal families soon joined them and became known as the Blackstown, where present-day Blacktown gets its name from. We are very proud of her, as I'm sure your families are of you here this morning. And with good reason. Your progress progresses us all. Your advancement is our advancement. Now that was probably better understood in traditional times when camps were smaller and clan groups abided by strict sharing laws, which meant the food that you caught and brought in was distributed throughout the rest of the camp. Your skills and good fortune were thus enjoyed by all, and your efforts literally nourished the whole community. You in turn were looked after by them. Yes, we can live quite beautifully when we do it properly. Our Aboriginal ancestors certainly lived well in many respects, and I often use the opportunity like today to offer them to yourselves as a benchmark or a model on how good to expect our lives. See, when Captain Cook arrived a little over 200 years ago, he described the people he encountered at Botany Bay as one of the happiest people he'd met in the world. They had nothing, he wrote, but the tools that they carried. They made shelters from the bark of trees, they were naked, they harvested food from the earth without tilling it. In traditional times, everyone accorded rights to the country, were accorded rights to the country or clan area where he or she was born into. So there was no homelessness and no rich and poor. People generally owned what they could carry. There were no armies or jails or even police. No history of slavery or empire building. People cooperated to collect resources which were then shared out according to strict Aboriginal law. Our lands were maintained in their natural state, rivers were clean and unpolluted, with people drinking out of them as they have done here for the past 20,000 years. Now this is not an ideal, this is normal life, and we should expect no less for ourselves and our children than what our ancestors enjoyed. So I would say to you, dream big and expect good things, and do good things, that we may have a country once again that we can hand over to our children that's worthy of them. All right, we can all do our bit, and I'll do mine now by getting off and letting you good people graduate. Congratulations on today and the work that got you here. Enjoy, and all the best in our collective futures. Thank you. Yana.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm pleased to introduce the Chancellor of Macquarie University, the Honourable Michael Egan.
Thank you, Chris Tobin, for your welcome to country. Well, graduands, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's my great privilege as Chancellor of Macquarie University to preside at this very important ceremony today. First, let me welcome all of our graduands, and I hope that today will be a very happy and a very memorable occasion for all of you. Now, from where I'm standing, some of you look happy, but most of you look a bit nervous and anxious. Now, let me assure you there's no reason to. Nothing can go wrong. The only thing that can happen, and it has happened, is that you fall over as you come up here on the stage. And very often we have young ladies who somehow or other manage to fall out of those big high-heeled shoes they wear. But don't worry, because we've got everything taken care of. We always designate someone to be the person who picks you up if you fall over. And today that person is none other than the Premier of New South Wales, the Honourable Barry O'Farrell. And he will be ably assisted by his colleague, the Minister for the Environment, the Honourable Robin Parker. So welcome, Barry, and welcome, Robin. So please, graduands, relax, enjoy the day, because you deserve to have a very happy day. You deserve to take pride, great pride, in your graduation, because completing a degree is never easy. You need an intelligent and inquiring mind. You need determination and perseverance, and you need to make many sacrifices. So welcome and congratulations to each and every one of you. Now today I also want to welcome, and especially welcome, those of you who are sitting behind our graduands as their invited guests. Because if you think about it for a moment, you've all obviously done very well too. The very fact that you are here, the fact that you have been invited by one of our graduands to share one of the great days of their lives is proof positive that you have been very important in their lives and in the successes that we celebrate today. So mothers and fathers, brothers and sisters, cousins, sons and daughters, grandmothers and grandfathers, friends, husbands, wives, partners, boyfriends, girlfriends, lovers, or whatever you are, congratulations and thank you for celebrating this great occasion with us. And I don't want you to think either that observing today's graduation is the end of your role, because I have another very important service for you to perform for our newest graduates, as they will soon become. I want you to make sure that the degrees they receive today are never ever put in a bottom drawer, but are always proudly displayed in a position of prominence. In other words, if our graduands are too self-effacing to proclaim their success, you make sure you do it for them. Now, the ceremony that we're about to participate in is one of the world's oldest social rituals. For centuries, graduates have been donning robes just like the ones our graduands are wearing today, and participating in ceremonies just like this one. Indeed, there are some 50 universities in the world which can trace their history back more than 500 years. Now, I know it won't come as a surprise to you to learn that Macquarie University is not one of those 500 universities. We are relatively young, only 49 years of age. But in those 49 years, we've come a long way. We now have more than 130,000 Macquarie graduates living in more than 140 countries. Macquarie is a very modern and outward-looking university. We're regarded as one of Australia's leading research universities and are currently extending our research as we are our course offerings and facilities. We're always trying to engage with the world around us. We've forged strong alliances with the community and with industry and are keen to establish more. On your way here this morning, you may have seen our new Macquarie University Hospital, which is being used by the students and academics in our School of Advanced Medicine. You may also have seen our new library, which provides a 21st century learning and research environment, and also perhaps our new Advanced Hearing Hub, which will be the home of a world-leading institute dedicated to advances in hearing, speech and language science. So we're looking forward and we're on the move. We want Macquarie always to be a leader in teaching and learning and a leader in the accumulation of knowledge and understanding. In other words, an ideal community of scholars. And graduands, in just a few minutes, it will be my very great honour to confer your degrees upon you and welcome you as lifelong members of that community of scholars we proudly call Macquarie University. Thank you.
Chancellor, I call on Miss Rachel Louise Barbiot, who's graduating today with a Master of Commerce, to speak on behalf of the graduating group. Miss Barbiot.
Good morning, Deputy Chancellor, members of the University, distinguished guests and fellow graduates. Thank you for the honour of speaking on behalf of the graduates in today's ceremony. I would like to begin by asking you all this question. What did you as a student want to get out of gaining an education? I decided to ask other graduates to gather a multifaceted answer. From hearing what others had to say, I realised that we all share similar outcomes. The multitude of responses range from a desire for making new friends and network contacts, to it being a rite of passage and a catalyst for starting one's career. Reflecting on my time at Macquarie University, studying both an undergraduate and postgraduate degree raised many things. I remember sitting exactly where you were all sitting this time last year, contemplating whether I would continue my studies. I was in the cap and gown, surrounded by my family and friends. However, the sense of anticipation and excitement for the day, when I was receiving my undergraduate degree, I was contemplating if I should continue. I was attentively listening to all the proceedings, and then it was my time to stand on stage, waiting for my name to be called. As soon as my name was called, my perspiring hands touched the degree, and I felt an enormous sense of accomplishment. That I was holding what was a declaration of 3 triumphant years spent studying. When I sat down and looked at it, I felt as though I knew the jubilation would be exponential if I indeed spent 1 more year studying. Still, a wave of fear came over me and thoughts of self-doubt. However, I remember a quote written by Marianne Williamson, stating, "Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure." So I took that and decided I was ready for new things, meeting new people, and pushing myself to the limit. And I'm sure we can all attest to that. The hundreds of hours at university and at home spent reading journal articles, preparing assignments, and studying for final exams. The times when you had so much work to do that all you could do was stay afloat of the immediate demands placed upon you. Staying up late, getting little to no sleep, yet the will to succeed kept you going that little bit further. In spite of all of this, I can truly say that my time at Macquarie were the best years of my life. The long conversations with friends, on whatever topic related not to academia, the fond memories from conception day when someone did a nudie run in a lecture theatre, to countless times walking into lecture theatres and after 15 minutes realising that I was in the wrong class. Bringing you back to that opening question, as what would you as a student want to gain from an education? I found the most common response was that I and many others wanted to gain knowledge on an area which I was passionate about and explore the learnings from past generations to make something of my life. But if you combine all our gains as graduates ready to enter the workforce, then the realisation of human intelligence steadily grows over the course of knowledge transfer from one generation to another. The drastic changes in the environment we live in today enable us to explore the independent and collective domains of knowledge and expertise. We have educated ourselves to endeavour to become contributing members of society in all the disciplines we have studied. Our education allows us to better deal with the opportunities of the expanded workload modern life puts on us. Evolution of the mind and our ability as individuals to acquire and apply knowledge makes the next chapter in our life an exciting prospect. We are at the precipice of achieving whatever we set our minds on and seeing it come into fruition. This year has crystallised many things for me. I have discovered that I can achieve many levels. I have found skills and abilities in myself which I feel ready to utilise in the business world. And without the support of the staff members, friends and family, I would not be standing here with the luxury of saying I am a Masters of Commerce graduate. On behalf of all students, I would like to say thank you to all those who supported us and encouraged us to think and achieve bigger. Therefore, I'd like to wish everyone the best of luck in all your future endeavours and say a big congratulations as you celebrate your successes. Thank you.
Well done, Rachel, and congratulations too on your master's degree. I'm glad you enjoyed your time here at Macquarie University, but just because you have 2 degrees doesn't mean you can't come back for a 3rd or a 4th. I'm glad too that you alerted me to the nudie run through a lecture. I hope that's not a custom here at Macquarie, but congratulations again, and I hope that you maintain your connections with Macquarie. Well, graduands, we now come to the key part of this morning's ceremony, the reason we're here, and that's the conferring of degrees. But this is the part of the ceremony that makes me a bit nervous, because I'm told that if I confer a degree on someone who is not eligible to receive it, there's nothing I can do to take it back. Many years ago, there was a judge appointed in New South Wales, but it turned out that the judge who was appointed was the wrong judge. He just had the same name as the person who was meant to be appointed. But once he got the appointment, there was nothing that could be done. So I don't want to make a mistake like that today. I don't want to confer a degree on anyone who was ever missed a lecture or was late in submitting an assignment. So I'm going to ask the registrar to give me an ironclad guarantee that you attended every lecture, that you submitted all of your assignments on time and are otherwise eligible to graduate today. Registrar.
Chancellor, I certify that all the candidates being presented here today and those who are absent have satisfied the requirements of the Academic Senate for the degrees and diplomas that they are to be awarded. Would all candidates for admission to degrees please stand?
That's you. Graduands, in the name of the Council of Macquarie University and by my authority as Chancellor, I admit each of you present and those who are absent to the degrees or diplomas for which you have qualified. Graduates, congratulations.
Will you please be seated? Chancellor, the graduates at this ceremony are from the Faculty of Business and Economics. This is the largest faculty at Macquarie and is one of the largest in Australia. A broad range of programs in some of the most exciting topical areas of business and economics are offered, which continue to be in high demand domestically and internationally. Graduates have recorded employment levels and starting salaries well above the average of Australian business schools. Research in this faculty is cutting edge and innovative and feeds into teaching, giving students the best possible learning experience. This faculty includes research and study areas in accounting, actuary studies, applied finance, economics, management and marketing. Chancellor, I now call on Professor Mark Gabbett, Executive Dean of the Faculty of Business and Economics, to present the graduates. Professor Gabbett.
Chancellor, I present to you the graduates from the Faculty of Business and Economics whom you have admitted to degrees. I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, Chunhua Lim, for a thesis entitled The Mediating Role of Culture in Structured Behavioural Selection Interviews. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Master of Accounting, Professional, Dong Chan Chen. Yu Fu. Ying Wang. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Master of Applied Finance, Raymond Georges Assad. Kia Gould. Adam Grant Hurst. Mohan Jegathisan. Matthew Timothy Quinn. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Master of Commerce, Gustavo Agra Cruz. Zaid Akbar. Tanin Orea Montri. Rachel Louise Barbio. Natasha Larissa Karabudi. Navya Chalasani. Yi-Lin Chen. Xiao Chen. Hua Cheng. Amy Catherine Chong. Song Ho Du. Kadel Laila Duara. Monica Echegare Fairley. Anthony Ika Wijaya. Kay Fan. Trevor Chun K. Fang. Maya Nachevich. Julio Cesar Gomez Marino. Lucy Guo. Daniel Alexander Harvey. I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Master of Economics, Mustafa Mohammed Chopin. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Master of International Business, Papaporn Chaloemwong. Yuan Chen. Cosmas Chitamba. Christopher James Green. I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Business Administration with the Bachelor of Commerce Professional Accounting, Siddharth Bandari. I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Business Administration with the Bachelor of Economics, Zinab El-Zain. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Applied Finance, Talia Bader. Xiaodong Bai. Andrea Banchui. Tri Tam Sao. Hoang Duong Cat. Cheryl Wing Yang Chum. Tsuen Yip Chun. Han Chun. Jing Chun. Jae-Yoon Choi. Moon Sun Choi. Dang Truong Pi Long. Li Ding. Chiang Du. Mark Easterbrook. Li Zhong Feng. Jing Gao. Yongguk Kim. Ka Chi Ho. Sin Yu Ho. Jin Hu. Jingwan Huang. Yu Jiao Jiang. Rong Jin. Yang Shizi Jin. Su Min Jun. Juan Kang. Min Seok Kim. Young Jun Kim. Ho Fan Ko. Chi Young Lai. Le Bin Lam. Ti Bish Nan Le. Toi Tan Tao Le. Chi Tu Li. Shi Shi Li. Xin Jia Li. Fang Lin. Yingqi Lin. Ji Hao Lin. Nok Tuan Lu. I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Arts, Ozita Poshab. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Business Administration, Cynthia Ali Matani. Dominique Caroline Ekiet. Christian Petrovsky. Jackson Miles Selby. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Commerce, Wan Ling Liu. Dongzhe Che. Lydia Tat Hua. Stephanie Antoinette Wainwright. Abo Wan. Alan Wang. Dominic William Webb. Joanne Weiner. Jonathan Wilson Wigham. Sarah Wilson. Wei In Wong. Catherine Worrell. Hayley Ann Wright. Jin Wu. Chu Min Xiao. Jun Kun Xiong. Ting Zhou. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Commerce, Accounting. Huan Wang. Bilal Masood Wazizada. Hui Hua Lily Wu. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Commerce, Marketing. Michael Dalton. Emma Jacqueline Fargas. Miguel Angelo Valero. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Commerce, Professional Accounting. Chi Wan. Fei Wang. Li Qian Wang. Xiaojun Wang. Amanda Jane Watson. Pak Sun Addix Wong. James Thomas Woods. Yi Di Wu. Li Sha Xia. Meng Ya Xie. Meng Yuan Xie. I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Human Resource Management, Camilla Elizabeth Stevenson. Chancellor, that completes this morning's presentation of the graduates from the Faculty of Business and Economics.
Well, that wasn't too bad, was it? That beautiful voice, ladies and gentlemen, belongs to Angela Brewer. Would you like to hear Angela sing just a little bit more? Okay, well, it's very simple. All you have to do is enrol in another degree, and when you come back for your next graduation, I promise you Angela will be singing there too. I think Angela deserves another great round of applause. As do our great musicians, Dr. James Forsyth over there, our organist. And Chai Chang Ning on the Chinese flute. And sitting next to them are some of our alumni volunteers who come along to make sure that everything goes smoothly on your graduation day. I think they deserve a round of applause too. Well, it's our pleasure at today's ceremony to honour, in accordance with the resolution of the University Council, Mr. Andrew Arnold Tink for admission to the degree of Doctor of Letters honoris causa of Macquarie University. I now call upon Professor Bruce Doughton, Vice-Chancellor of Macquarie University, to read the citation. Professor Doughton.
Chancellor, I invite Mr. Andrew Tink to stand for the citation. Mr. Andrew Tink was educated at Sydney Grammar School and the Australian National University, where he was graduated as a Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Laws. Mr. Tink practiced as a barrister in Sydney after university and before being elected to the New South Wales Parliament in 1988. He served as a member of the New South Wales Legislative Assembly for 19 years, representing the Sydney electorates of Eastwood from 1988 to 1999 and Epping from 1999 to 2007. During his time in politics, he was the Shadow Minister for Family and Community Services, Shadow Attorney General, Shadow Minister for Police, Shadow Leader of the House, and Chairman of the Parliamentary Public Accounts Committee. In 2007, Mr. Tink left the Parliament to pursue a career as an author, writing 2 political biographies: William Charles Wentworth, Australia's Greatest Native Son, and Lord Sydney, The Life and Times of Tommy Townsend. In 2010, William Charles Wentworth, Australia's Greatest Native Son, won the NIB, Cal Waverley Library Award for Literature. In 2006, Mr. Tink was appointed Visiting Fellow at our Macquarie University School of Law, and in 2012, he was appointed as a member of the Library Council of New South Wales. Chancellor, it is with great pleasure that I present to you Mr. Andrew Tink for the award of the degree Doctor of Letters honoris causa.
Andrew Arnold Tink, in the name of the Council of Macquarie University and by my authority as Chancellor, I admit you to the degree of Doctor of Letters honoris causa. Ladies and gentlemen, I now invite Dr. Tink to give the occasional address. Please welcome Dr. Tink.
Chancellor, Premier, Minister Parker, Vice-Chancellor, members of the University, graduates, distinguished guests all. I wish firstly to acknowledge the traditional custodians of this land, the Darug people, and to pay my respects to their elders past and present. Before going any further, I need to explain that having had radiation for throat cancer, I have to sip from this bottle, but please rest assured it contains water, not alcohol. Ill health was a factor in my decision to leave Parliament at a time when, for me, the prospect of a senior ministry was in sight. Maybe the Premier had other ideas, but I'm not going there. Anyway, rather than following up offers from the public and banking sectors or returning to legal practice after leaving Parliament, I decided instead on a more risky course, to take up writing. So I'm especially grateful for Macquarie University's marvellous gesture in awarding me an Honorary Doctorate of Letters, affirming the worth of my new direction. When watching you all assemble today, it reminded me of my ANU graduation 36 years ago. Thanks to some alphabetical quirk, I was instructed to lead the graduands into the theatre. Among them were my ex-girlfriend and her new husband. Full of self-importance, I was determined that my lead-in would make an unforgettable impression on my old flame. Totally self-absorbed, I marched down the aisle and then along a row of seats. Facing me, I noticed the usher gesturing with the university mace, so I thought encouraging me on. But the closer I got to him, the more agitated he became. Instinctively, I turned around, discovering to my horror that I was entirely alone. All of my fellow graduands having long since figured out that I'd taken a wrong turn. The usher was, in effect, holding up one of those motorway signs. Go back, you're going the wrong way. During your careers, you'll often be given this advice, and one of the great tricks in life is to know when to take it and when to ignore it. Despite my humiliation that day, the friends I made at university have remained great sources of support when really difficult decisions have to be made. So my first piece of advice to you is to stay in touch with your university friends. They're among the most important you'll make. It's now a quarter of a century since I began a 7-year term on Macquarie University Council. Back in 1988, we had big plans for how this campus could capitalise on its location at the centre of Australia's leading high-tech hub. And in the years since, I've watched in amazement at how Macquarie has grown in step with its high-tech neighbours. Now world-renowned in many fields, this university has a great future, being conveniently linked by the M2 motorway and the coming North West Rail link to other campuses, business parks and creative communities throughout Sydney and beyond. Therefore, my second piece of advice to you is to stay in touch with Macquarie through its Alumni Association, because it's a tertiary institution which is going places. Although this university took its name from Lachlan Macquarie, who became governor in 1810, it has a link which stretches back even further, to the arrival of the First Fleet in 1788. I uncovered this connection while writing my biography of the man responsible for that fleet, Lord Sydney. So here's the story behind the link. Getting the First Fleet ready for departure was a massive logistical exercise, and convicts were brought from all over Britain to board their ships. Among them were 3 females who were taken by their jailer, John Simpson, clear across England from Norwich Prison to Plymouth. Upon arrival, they were rowed out to their ship, and one by one their names were ticked off, a little bit like this morning with you guys. When the captain got to Susanna Holmes, he ordered her aboard, but demanded that she leave her infant behind. That baby's not on my warrant list, he barked. Distraught, Susanna threatened suicide, but the captain would not be moved. However, her jailer Simpson was, and he decided that something had to be done. So he took off for London with the babe in his arms, determined to convince Lord Sydney's Home Office bureaucrats to allow this infant to rejoin its mother. In those days, the public service was very small, whereas today there are tens of thousands of people employed by the Home Office. Then there were just 18, including a night porter and a necessary woman who, as far as I can tell, was a cross between what we'd now call a tea lady and a cleaner. They were located in just 4 rooms on the first floor of the Montague Lodgings in Whitehall, reached by a flight of stairs. Expecting to remonstrate with the Home Office clerk, Simpson started up the stairs with the baby. But as luck would have it, no less than Lord Sydney himself was coming down the stairs at that very same time. Buttonholed by Simpson and the screaming infant, Sydney was at first hostile, but on being told of Susanna Holmes's distress, the Home Secretary ordered that mother and child be reunited for the voyage to Botany Bay. And then he inquired whether the baby's father wanted to go too. Unsure, Simpson said he'd ask, whereupon Sydney signed the necessary papers should the father, Henry Cable, say yes. In fact, Cable was a prisoner at Norwich, so Simpson, still cradling the baby, had to travel all the way back there for an answer. And when Cable agreed to go, the 3 of them made for Plymouth. As Simpson later said, he'd covered a total of 700 miles with the baby to get this little family back together. After arriving at Botany Bay with the First Fleet, the Cables soon earned their freedom. Henry Cable became an innkeeper and also, amazingly, superintendent of police, setting an interesting precedent which the Chancellor and the Premier will recall was repeated a few years ago when we were all in Parliament together. A successful businessman who, among other things, imported pigs, Cable amassed a fortune before commercial disputes threatened his wealth. Therefore, to avoid his creditors, Cable transferred his assets into his son's name. Yes, to that baby who by then had grown into a young man, also conveniently called Henry. In this way, what's still one of this city's more dodgy business practices was created. However, I'm confident that none of you who've graduated in business and economics today will ever copy Henry Cable's precedent. So where's the link to Macquarie University that I mentioned a while back? Well, like many other First Fleet families, the Cable's descendants multiplied and prospered down the years, today boasting many distinguished Australians in their ranks. Among them, the Honourable Michael Egan. You see, the Chancellor himself is this university's link to the First Fleet. Chancellor, I wish to thank you and the University Council for the great honour you've bestowed upon me. And I'd particularly like to acknowledge my wife, Kerry, who has been a wonderful support, especially during my battles with cancer. Thanks also to the Premier and the Minister for the Environment for honouring all of us with their presence today. Most importantly, I heartily congratulate all of you for working hard and applying yourselves to graduate in economics or business this morning. Good luck with your careers, and remember, you and your university friends can provide each other with wonderful mutual support in the years ahead. So what's my third and final piece of advice to you? It's simply this. Don't follow Henry Cable's business practices. His descendant, the Chancellor, sets a much better example.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is an absolutely true story. What Andrew didn't tell you was that both my great-great-great-great-great-great-grandfather and my great-great-great-great-great-great-grandmother had both been sentenced to hang for separate crimes. They met whilst they were awaiting the death penalty, but both of them had their death sentences commuted to transportation for life, again by that great man, Lord Sydney, Tommy Townsend. So you can understand why I'm a great fan of Lord Sydney. I owe my existence to that man. And I suppose my convict background also explains why I've always been a ferocious opponent to the death penalty and why perhaps I ended up a politician. But thank you, Andrew, for telling us that great story. And graduates, I'm sure you'll agree that that was a superb occasional address, and I think you've been very privileged to have such a distinguished occasional speaker as Andrew Tink, who, as you gathered, has a long connection with this university, not only as an honorary fellow of our law school, but also many years ago as a member of our governing body. So please put your hands together for Andrew. Well, graduates, this ceremony marks the end of one stage in your relationship with Macquarie University, but it is certainly not the end of your association with Macquarie. From today on, for the rest of your lives, you are part of the bigger Macquarie family, which is our alumni, and part of the network of Macquarie alumni, which now spans the globe. We'll keep in touch with you through our alumni program, which is focused on lifelong learning, lifelong support, and lifelong connections. Our commitment to you is to help you keep in touch and engaged with Macquarie throughout your life. And please do make sure that you come back to Macquarie, either to undertake more study, to attend alumni events, or perhaps use our aquatic and fitness facilities, or even, if you like, take a picnic down by the lake. Well, graduates, the award of a university degree carries many opportunities and privileges. But like all privileges, it also carries responsibilities. Believe it or not, you, each and every one of you, can change the world. And you don't have to be a Nobel Prize winner to do it either. Because almost everything you do, in your homes, in your workplaces, and in your communities matters and can make a huge difference. The consequences of every effort, every action, large or small, can reverberate throughout society, through the decades, indeed the centuries. Even something as simple as a kind word or gesture can often be the spark that ignites a great life or a great career or a great achievement. So as Chancellor of Macquarie University, I charge you to use what you have learned, not only for your own benefit, but also for the betterment of the community. I charge you to use the skills and knowledge you have acquired with rigour and integrity, and to commit yourselves to a program of lifelong learning and inquiry. I charge you to recognise the worth and dignity of all people, particularly those who have not had the opportunities that you've enjoyed. I charge you to set high goals and to continue the hard work that has brought you so far. I charge you, wherever you go with all your heart. And in all you do, I charge you to uphold the good name of Macquarie University. Graduates, I hope also that you'll always remember the people who have helped you along the way, many of whom, of course, are here with you today. So to acknowledge their contribution and thank them for it, I'm now going to ask you to do a few things. Graduates, would you please now stand? And would you place your degrees on the seats behind you so that your hands are free? And now I'd like you to turn around and give your families and friends a mighty round of applause. Well, graduates, you can turn around now, but don't sit down because we'll be leaving in just a moment. There are also some representatives on the stage of our academic staff, and I'm sure they've been a great assistance to you, of course, through your studies, and I think they deserve a round of applause too. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the official party will now leave the courtyard through the centre aisle, and we will be followed by all of the graduates. I would invite everyone to now please stand, and please remain standing until the last of the graduates have processed out. And then I invite you to join us at the University Court for light refreshments. Well, graduates, I wish you the very best for the future, and in the words of the old Irish blessing, may the road rise up to meet you, may the wind always be at your back, may the sun shine warm upon your face, and rains fall soft upon your fields. And until we meet again, may God hold you in the palm of his hand. Thank you and good luck.